Bruno here. Thanks for tuning in. It was a year ago today, actually, that I left for Costa Rica for Marianne Wells Yoga teacher training in Costa Rica. Still one of my favorite experiences I've ever done. So grateful for the opportunities, the lifelong friends I've met, and the ability and knowledge to teach yoga since I've returned. So again, thank you for tuning in, sending lots of love and light to everyone out there. May you all stay safe and healthy. We're going to begin our practice today on our backs. We'll start there. A comfortable spot for everybody, no matter where you were today or what your days look like so far. So finding your way all the way down onto your back. And then maybe making a few adjustments once you get there. Maybe your knees come up a little bit. If that feels better on your low back, you have the option for your knees to fall open. If that feels good for you. Really, whatever feels good here will meet. Wherever you are in the world, we'll meet in the same place. The same comfortable place on our backs. And as you arrive here, letting your physical body relax. Finding heaviness in your heels. Working your way up your legs, into your hips. Feeling gravity come up and pull you down. Working its way up your spine, down your arms, into your hands, through your shoulders, up the back of your neck, to the back of your head, through your crown, notice your breath. Shallow, deep. Maybe it's somewhere in between. Maybe it's the first time today you've slowed down or just noticed. And wherever you are, begin to deepen. Feeling your belly fill up and then drop down. Filling up with air. Exhaling it out. Keep that going. Keep your breath deep. Keep it full. Emptying out on every exhale. Filling back up on the inhale. bringing the awareness back into your physical body and beginning to scan your body, noticing how you feel today. Again, this might be the first conscious time today that you've really checked in, that you've really noticed. Is there spots that feel tender? Maybe you feel great today. Maybe you're somewhere in between. Bringing that awareness to your low back. Noticing if your low back feels tender or hurts in any type of way. If so, we're going to draw one knee in at a time to our chest. If your low back is feeling okay, both knees lift up and draw into your chest at the same time, coming in, wrapping your hands around your knees, pressing your knees into your chest. As you press your knees into your chest, as you pull them in, notice and feel your low back, your lower lumbar spine pressing into the earth. That natural little curve in your low spine pressing down. Hands are going to come out to the side, and then we're going to let our knees fall over to one side. So shoulders are pulling down here. Hands can be out comfortably at your sides. And then the option for your knees here, if you need to increase this, I think the garbage truck is here. If you need to increase this, knees come up closer to your armpits. To decrease it, knees come down towards the center of the room. Making any necessary adjustments, doing what feels good for your spine and your low back here. Optional, look in the opposite direction of your knees. Breathing in. Exhale. Fill up. Exhale it out. Knees are drawing back into your chest. Hands come back around your knees, pressing your knees into your chest, pressing your low back into the earth. Resetting here. Noticing how you feel after stretching one side out. Hands come back down, shoulders pull down to the earth, knees fall over to the other side. Again, making any adjustments here that you need to, moving your knees up or down to increase or decrease this pose for yourself. Head can look the opposite direction of your knees for a little added stretch. Starting our practice with moving our spine. All yoga asana begins with the spine. Breathing in. Exhale. Again. Knees come back into your chest. Give yourself one more big squeeze. Hands come around your knees. Pulling in. Noticing the space around your spine. So not your spine itself, but the area around it. Focusing in on that, noticing it, and we're going to invite movement back in, forward and back, focusing on that space around our spine. So as you invite the movement in, don't just come up through here. Like, notice what this feels like. Notice the journey of coming from your back up to seated. A couple more times. Feet are going to cross or find a comfortable spot out in front of you. Hands come to your knees, pull your shoulders back. Soften your gaze. Feel your hips pressing into the earth. Coming to seated in our practice. Breathe in. Side out. Again, breathe in. Sigh out. Again, breathe in. Exhale completely. Shoulders are going to stay pulling back, spine is long. Feet are going to come out in front of you. So feet are coming out in front of you. Toes are flexing up as if they're pushing up against a wall. Quads engage. So this is active. Make this pose active for yourself. Pulling your feet up, flexing your quads, pulling your hands to your sides, shoulders pulled back, spine lengthens all the way through the crown of your head. The stillness. Find the stillness. Active pose. So much going on here. Continuing to pull your shoulders back and down. Spine lengthens. Every breath you take, you become a little bit taller. Feet are flexed up, quads are engaged, hands rest gently on the ground in the space next to you. Where does your mind go in the stillness? Can you bring it back to your breath? Bring it back to your mat and your practice. Find your biggest breath of the day. Exhale it all out. Feet are going to come place on the mat. Knees come up, shoulders pull back. So your shoulders are going to pull back here. Heart is shining forward. Core engages. So your abs are working. This might be as far as you go. If you feel this here and it's intense, stay. Stay right where you are. This is where your body is going to be today. And that's perfect for your body. If you need a little bit more, legs lift up. If that's too much, your feet can always come back down. Legs lift up. Shoulders still pulling back. Core is engaged, heart shines. Neck in line with the rest of your spine. If you need a little bit more than this, you want to increase this, legs can straighten up, or you can reach peace fingers around your big toes, reach through your legs, elbows to the insides of your knees, and then straighten up from here. So you'll notice this pose takes a lot of balance. If you want to explore and try it, and if it doesn't feel good coming out of it, exploring with that balance, pulling your legs in once you get there. Again, finding the stillness. Moving through the stillness. Not the physical body, the emotional, the spiritual, the mental bodies move through this stillness. Breathe in. Stay for your exhale. Slowly coming out of this pose. If you had your peace fingers around your big toes, letting that go. We're going to bring our knees around. Finding tabletop. So as you come into tabletop, really focusing on the alignment as you get into this pose. Squaring off your shoulders to the front of your mat. Your hips will follow where your shoulders go. So keeping them squared off. Feeling your hands press into your mat. Your gaze is just slightly forward. Feeling your knees press down, tops of your feet on your mat. Hips go back to heels, find child's pose. So all the way back. Third eye on the mat. Pull your shoulder blades down. So once you arrive there, really focusing on making space in your neck. So pulling your shoulder blades down, you should feel that space in your neck. Walking your hands over to one side. Feeling the side body stretch here. Feeling the space being created. And maybe you can go another inch after you kind of settle in. Maybe you notice that space makes some more room. And back through center. Resetting here. In the center of your mat. Once again, pulling your shoulder blades down, like feeling your forearms press into the mat. Feeling your hips sink back down towards your heels. Pressing that reset button right here. And then over to the other side. Back through center. Once again, pulling your shoulder blades down, making that space, feeling that space in your neck. Coming back onto your hands, coming back up. Your hips drop forward. Heart shines. Shoulders pulled down. Back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Holding this table, holding the strong moves here. Strong spine. Knees rise just a couple inches. Floating table. Find that neutral spine, holding through there, feeling, pressing into your hands, pressing into the tips of your toes, feeling it in the balls of your feet, your core. Once again, stillness. Knees drop back down. Untuck your toes. Inviting in some more movement of the spine. Arching up and back down. Making that crescent moon shape here with your spine. And then flipping it. Couple more, continuing this motion, maybe overemphasizing, maybe you're really getting in, maybe you tuck your toes under, maybe you're looking forward, letting your head drop in between these two. We'll meet with a neutral spine. Finding the neutral spine, extending left arm forward, right leg back. Before you move forward, before you go anywhere else, build your foundation, build your strength, find your balance, find this pose before you add on to it. Once you have it, pulling in and then extending back out. Pull in, extend. And as you continue this movement, focusing on linking your breath. Yoga means union. Yoga is connection. So the connection between breath and movement, mind and body. That's what we practice. So find that connection. Last time. Extend out, reach, fingertips all the way to your toes. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Little side to side here. Releasing. Back through center. Feeling the work that was done on the other side. Right arm comes forward, palm faces in, left leg pushes back. So once again, finding your foundation, feeling this, getting your balance, pressing into all the points of contact on your mat. Once you have it, begin to pull in and out. Extend, pull in, finding length every time you extend out. Again, connecting into your breath, connecting this movement to your breath. Last time. Extend it out, reaching fingertips all the way to your toes. Hand comes down, knee comes down. From here, wide knees. So we're going wide knee child's pose. So knees are coming out to the edges of your mat, toes touch behind you, reach forward. Letting your belly come between your thighs. Third eye plants on your mat. Feeling it press down. Breathing in, feeling your hips sink a little lower on your exhale. Coming back up to your hands. Knees come in, lining everything back up. Shoulders over palms, hips over knees. Shoulders both facing forward, your hips are going to follow suit. So your spine is long, connecting both sides. Toes tuck under. Once again, we find that floating table. So you're only coming up a couple inches here. Belly pushes back to the tops of your thighs. So you're out of your wrists, out of your shoulders, pressing back. Hips rise up just a bit. Belly pushes back more. Hips rise all the way to the top. Pressing your heels into the earth, downward facing dog. Come up to your tippy toes. Heels come down. Pressing your heels into the earth. If they do not reach the earth, that's okay. Envision them reaching. Maybe one day they will. And if they don't, that's okay too. Walking your hands back. Back to your feet. Big forward fold. So forward fold here. Give yourself a nice generous bend in your knees. Feel the stretch in your low back. Nice big bend in your knees. Let your neck relax. So let your head hang heavy. Maybe you shake your head yes. Maybe you shake your head no. A little bit further down, so like press your knees down a little bit more and feel the connection between your belly and the tops of your thighs. As you feel that connection, notice and feel your low back. Feel the space that you're making there. Continuing to let your neck relax, letting your head be heavy, pulling your neck, releasing. Remembering that this pose right here is an inversion. Because your head is lower than your heart. Seems simple enough. It is. Breathing into all the benefits. Exhaling out. Continuing to feel the space in your low back, your hips, the release of your neck. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll this up to standing. So meeting standing, adjusting on your mat where you need to be. Palms face forward, shoulders pulled back, gaze once again softens. Our first time standing throughout our practice. How does that feel? When our realities are disrupted, our routines are changed, it can be scary. You can feel ungrounded. And if you do, you're not alone. Keeping your gaze softened, palms facing forward. Bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Picture a straight line across the ball of your foot and a point in your heel. Tracing a big triangle from your heel up to the ball of your foot, across and back down to your heel. Pressing into those 3 points. Standing on your earth. Your earth is here to support you. Next breath in, you stand up a little taller. You pull your shoulders down and back your spine. Shifting your weight over to your left side. Knee pops up on the right just a bit. Before you go anywhere, reset here. Reset in with the standing leg, pressing into those 3 points. Gaze can open. Knee rises up. Once again, find a balance. We open up to find tree, wherever that is for you today. So it might be here. It might be your foot is still on the ground. Your heel comes in right over your ankle. That's fine. Maybe you bring it up to your calf. If you choose your knee, please be careful, that's a joint. And if you need more, obviously you have the ability to grab onto your foot and press it up into your inner thigh. Wherever you choose to be, find the stillness. Reconnect with your breath. And maybe once you have this, once you feel that your low body and your drishti is centered, maybe you find a variation by lifting your arms up. Maybe your hands come into heart center. Wherever you are, wherever you find them, find your version. Pressing the bottom of your foot into your leg as much as your leg presses into the bottom of your foot. That's your meridian, that's your center, that's your drishti. That's where you're working from. Where it begins and where it ends. Breathe in. Exhale. Knee comes back forward, back down, hands come back down to your sides. Gaze softens. And as we press that reset button here, as we feel the work that was done on that side, notice the difference. Notice how it feels. Maybe lift your toes up off the mat and then press them back down. Maybe your heels lift up. You press them back down. You can do that a couple times. Gaze is softened. Shoulders pull back. Spine lengthens. Reaching with the crown of your head all the way down your spine, all the way through your tailbone, down your legs, planting in, grounding through your feet, through those triangles, pressing into those 3 points. Weight shifts to the other side. Their knee comes up. Pressing into that grounded foot. Feeling, noticing those 3 points, your big triangle, your foundation. Knee lifts up. And when you're ready, open to your form, your variation of this pose. Again, maybe you adjust. Maybe this side does not feel like the other side did. That's okay. Maybe there's an injury. Maybe it's the energies that live within our body, the rights, the lefts, the suns, the moons, masculine, feminine. It's a balance pose. So whatever it looks and feels like for you today, breathe into it. This is your reality, your pose, your version is perfect for your body. Knee comes back forward. Coming back down, hands come back down to your sides, palms are forward, shoulders pulling back. Pressing into your feet. And notice the bottom of your feet. Hopefully it feels evened out. Hopefully they feel the same. From here, big inhale up, reaching up to the top, making space through your heart center, pulling up, slight gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands are going to plant here. Find your way back down to high plank. So finding through high plank. However you get there, maybe you step, maybe you hop, maybe you jump, wherever you are, wherever your practice is at today. Finding high plank, look to the left, look to the right, look to the left, to the right, to the left, back through center. We're going to add on. So look to the left, open up side plank left side. So your version of side plank might be that bottom knee comes down. That's okay. If the bottom knee is down and you want to try more, lift that top leg. If you're in a full side plank and you want more, you can lift a leg, knee can come up. Your variation. Coming back through center. Look to the right. Once again, your variation side plank. Reaching with your fingertips to the sky. Feeling that straight line down your arm to the supporting hand. Coming back down through center. Look to the left. Same thing. Connecting your breath here. Top hand comes down. Reaching through. Couple more times. Always resetting through center. Always finding your way back through there. Back through that main starting point. It's not a race. It's a journey. We'll meet back in high plank. Knees drop down. Hips back to your heels, reaching forward. Third eye plants. Feeling your shoulder blades relaxed. Feeling them pull down. Planting back into your hands, coming back up. We're going to come onto our hips and back onto our backs. So finding your way onto your back. Heel tiptoeing your feet out to the edge of your mat. So depending on your hip flexibility, depending on where you're at today, maybe it's a little bit more than that, and maybe it's a little bit less. But really just getting to that point of where you can feel it in your hips, but it's not too intense where it's uncomfortable. So that edge of the stretch and finding that change, but obviously doing it safely. So finding that, bringing your knees together, your feet are out. Knees open up here. So you're going to plant your feet on the ground like we did before when we were standing, pressing into your feet. One knee is going to come into your chest. So now you've created enough space here to be able to really get into your hip joint. You're going to start making big circles with your knee. Big circles. So the other leg is out of the way here. So really getting in the entire joint, feeling any spot that may be sticky, any spot that may not feel so good. And if you do find a sticky spot, just go easy, work into it, but be gentle. Next time your knee comes into your chest, change direction. So now you got big circles in the other direction, making it really big. Next time your knee comes into your chest, we're going to plant our foot down. Once again, pushing our knees in. Finding that hip stretch here, noticing if the side that we just moved feels any different than the side that we haven't moved yet. Knees open back up. Other leg comes in, knee pushing into your chest, making those big circles. So big hip circles here, really getting in to those little spaces. You might feel a snap, crackle, pop. You might feel a little bit of a release here. Go easy, but find your hip joint. Like find a space. Feel the movement through your hip joint. Next time your knee comes into your chest, change directions. Knee coming back into your chest, pressing your foot back into the earth, lining up with your other foot, pushing your knees together. So once again, feeling that hip release here. Now is a little bit of a counter stretch. We're going to bring our knees out. Soles of the feet come together. So soles of the feet come together, knees push open, hips are relaxing on your mat. Spine is still long, spine is still lengthening, pressing all the way up to your shoulder blades. Noticing how this pose feels. Noticing if you need to increase or decrease this pose. If you need to increase it, bring your feet in closer to your body to get a more intense stretch. If you need to decrease it, this is not feeling good for whatever way, feet come out more in front of you. That should decrease it for you, or you always have the option to bring your knees up or just right out in front of you. So wherever you need to be, making the adjustments, listening to your body, most importantly. If the soles of the feet are together and knees are open, bringing one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Coming back into that connection. Connection we found in the beginning of class. Looking for the breath to move in. Here we look for mind to body. The physical body connecting in with the breath. Your hand feels your belly fill up with air. Other hand is holding your heart, feeling your heart beat underneath it. This pose reminds me of an infinity sign, a reminder. Energy is infinite. All energy is infinite. Continuing to feel your breath. Feel your breath move your belly, hand on your belly, filling up and back down. Bringing your awareness to your knees. Noticing if you feel a hip stretch here. If maybe the weight of your knees, just maybe, is allowing your hips to open up a little more. Making any necessary adjustments. Maybe you move your feet in or out. Hands come down to your sides. Palms face up. Legs come out in front of you. Lifting one leg up, rotating out your ankle. And then changing sides, lifting other leg up, rotating out your ankle. letting your toes fall to the sides, pressing your heels down into the earth, preparing for our final pose. A pose that's not so physical as it is emotional, spiritual, to relax, Shavasana. Feeling your hips press down. Finding heaviness in your shoulders. Taking up space. Relaxing your jaw. Any emotion you have left on your face, just letting it melt. Relaxing your forehead. And when your mind starts to wander, come back to your mat. Come back to your home, to your space. Your physical home and your home within your body. Your home within your own being. Come back to it. Beginning to deepen, making your breath deeper with every inhale and every exhale. beginning to tell your physical body it's almost time to move. Maybe this morning you were woken with an alarm clock, a furry friend, a little human. Maybe it was not your intentions on how you woke up abruptly. So right now, choose what you want to move first, where you want to begin the rest of your day. With intention and gratitude, invite the movement back in, how you want, what feels good for your body. Maybe you let your neck fall from side to side. Maybe it's fingertips or toes, wrists, ankles, starting slowly wherever you choose. Eventually making those movements a little bit bigger, a little bit greater. And drawing your knees up into your chest, giving yourself a big hug, pulling your knees in. And just as we began our practice on our backs, pulling our knees into our chests, we'll end our practice. Knees fall over to the side. This time, shoulders follow over to your right side. Take the pause. Take that moment. The peace. Quiet. Time for you. Pressing into your hand, pushing up, finding your way up to seated. Coming into a comfortable seat. Gaze softened. Once again, pulling your shoulders back. Hands pull into heart center. Thumb knuckles up to your third eye, yogis. My soul honors your soul. It honors the place within you where the entire universe resides. It honors the beauty, the light, love, and truth within you because it's also within me. In sharing these things, we are the same. We are united. We are one. Together, we bow and say, Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Remember to be kind. Spread love. Everyone you meet is a beautiful soul with a story to tell. Thanks for tuning in. I love you all. Hope everyone has a great day.